So when you move into a house, um, you may or may not find that the previous owner had an eye for detail and maximizing the potential of whatever mechanical situations they found themselves in ownership of. In my case, there was flexible aluminum off the back of the dryer up and out of the house to a solid piece. Well, that's just not going to cut it. You can't use flexible. I had a fire inspector tell me that flexible duct causes 10,000 house fires a year in America. An average of 10,000, or 10,000 every year, he said, is deemed to be the cause of a house fire. So what I did was I fashioned up an elbow, 2 elbows to make a 45. It's not a 90. It's not a sharp 90 turn, which you don't want. The code specification calls for 6 inches off the back of the dryer, which we have. That's either 6 inches or more, followed by a 45-degree bend, which is what we have. So I have what I'm supposed to have now. And you'll get to these things one after another in time if you own a home and you're like me and you want to have things done right. In my case, I could have just used what I had set up already, but you know better, or you should. But on these elbows, as you can see, there's no cuts. There's no expansion or contraction space. This is the male end, but the female end goes on your dryer. And so what I did was I cut 4, I'd say 1-inch cuts with my snips on each corner of the pipe. And I put my band clamp on, and that has allowed me to tighten this on properly. So now it's not going to come off. It's not just resting on there. And I feel more secure about it. I can put the pipe on now and move on to the next step. By the way, all the seams will have to be taped because there's little gaps in here, as you can see, where these two came together. You just want those to be gas tight. Obviously, this is a gas dryer, so that's an important step here in my case. If you had an electric dryer, you could just blow the exhaust gas into the house, I guess, if you really wanted to. Some people do that, some people don't. I wouldn't. It's full of moisture. But this is a gas dryer, and it has carbon monoxide and different dioxides from burning gas, so you can't put this into the house. It has to go outside. And I'm using the sturdy, I think it's 30 gauge galvanized piping, because it's going to be easier to ream and clean out with a pipe cleaner at some point someday. The soft aluminum that a lot of people use is easy to work with, but it's not very sturdy, and I wouldn't go wrenching on that. This, on the other hand, is going to be very sturdy. So